Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. So, quick question. How was last week for you? I'm really curious. I'm asking all of the signs this week. I just really want to know, how did last week play out for you, particularly around Wednesday and Thursday? What was going on for you? Let me know before you even watch any of the rest of the video. Let me know in the comments how last week went down for you. All right, before we start, remember these are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves ya, and if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and this resonates, hit the subscribe button. Your key to the week this week is the Justice card. It's all about commitment. Commitment, what and who you tie yourself to, and more importantly, what you truly are ready to invest in. And yes, that may be financially, but it's also likely to be like, what are you ready to invest your mind, body and spirit into? What do you really feel like you are ready to pour your being into moving forward? Now, in all of these different areas of life, it's possible that there could be contractual matters that come up, and it could also be that you are asked to or expected to, in some way, shape or form, to show up on a committed level or to be more committed about whatever it is that you're working on, with or through. For your actions and options, you have the Strength card, right? So this is really a week where you are being encouraged to think about and to demonstrate that much more grit. If I'm completely honest with you, the feeling that I get from this is there's something that you feel like quitting, something that you feel like giving up on, and it's like, you know, and we all have those moments, right? It's a totally human experience to have. You know, you get to a point with something, you're like, you know what, any minute now I'm just going to say fuck this, I'm going to walk away. But the feeling that I have from this is you are, you know, life, the universe, whatever you want to call it, you're being tested. But this isn't about whether you're a good person, it's about whether you have the grit or whether you are truly committed to whatever this thing is at the heart-based level, right? Is your heart in it? If it's not, that's okay, right? But this is really, life is asking you to get really real with yourself. Your actions and options, you've got the Strength card. You have the grit, you've got the determination, you've got the power, you have the strength and the courage to do it. But if you don't have the heart, there's going to be, you know, at that point, that's when you have to kind of walk away. And I'll give you an example here. I can't think of one off the top of my head from a personal life experience, but I remember watching this film, and right at the end of the film, this girl's, you know, her mum, she's training to be a ballet dancer, and her mum, you know, is really pushing her for it. And then she realizes throughout the movie, like, actually, you know what? I don't want this life. It's not for me. And right at the end of the film, she says to her, you know, she says to her daughter, like, why? I just need to understand why it is that you know, you've just thrown it all away. And she said, you know, at the end of the day, she said that, like, this would just be a life of looking back and wishing that I'd done something different for me. You didn't have the feet for it, you know, because her mum wanted to be a dancer, but she didn't have the right feet for it. Well, the daughter has the feet and she's got the talent and the skill, but she doesn't have the heart. And that's what this says to me, right? This is what this week is really about for you. You're discovering whether you have the heart for something. And there's no shame in this, right? Like, oh my gosh, there's so many things that are like, yeah, no, I'm going to do this. It's totally for me. And then I'm like, actually, no, you know what? This isn't for me. It felt good at the time, but no, actually, you know what? This is not what I want to pursue. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's no shame in it. There is, in fact, there's more wrong with staying with something for the sake of, oh, but I'm here now and what are people going to say and all of that stuff. Chuck that in the fuck it bucket, because it really doesn't have any space in your life, right? And not for anything that's going to be good for you. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Five of Pentacles. So there are potentially here some financial or resource-based challenges that show up for you. And because it is the Justice card, the message here really is, if you're committed, right, and sometimes this is the way that things happen. If you're committed, if you've really got the heart, there will be a way made available to you. If all avenues, especially on a financial level, one seems to be shut or closed at the moment, and this is not, I know somebody's going to be in the comments like, I can't believe you just said that, you're out here victim blaming, man, what the fuck is wrong with you? No, it's not that. I'm not saying, oh, you manifested this and you deserve it. What I'm saying is, there are times when we reach our upper limit, when we come close to achieving something that we genuinely want, need, or desire. There are times where we sabotage ourselves at an energetic level and it shows up on a material level. I can attest to this. There are so many times when I've got to points in my life where I'm like, fuck man, I'm doing this life thing, hey, and I'm super excited and whatever, bam, something kicks in. And this isn't about me doing it on purpose, it's a pattern. Right? It's a pattern, it's a broken bit of script, it's something that sits in my energy field that says, well, you don't really deserve this, or, you're from this place in life, so you shouldn't be able to achieve that. I worked really hard to get past a lot of that. I come from a really sort of fucking rough area, to be completely honest with you. And I came up through all of that with a lot of complexes about, well, someone that's from where I'm from and looks like me and all the rest of it shouldn't be able to have this. And it shows up. Like sometimes it will be the most trivial of things, like your washing machine will bust. You'll get 3 flat tires all at the same time. Right? And yes, these are very physical manifestations, but they come from that energy that is stuck within you that says, I don't have the heart, that says, I don't feel like I deserve this, and I'm not really, I'm committed, I'm showing up, but I'm just showing up as a warm body. I'm not necessarily fully in it. And again, this is, if you're finding this week that you're having hard conversations around money and finances, yes, the world is crazy, the economy's up, up shit creek without a paddle, as they say. But what this really speaks to me about is you are noticing the physical, tangible results of imposter syndrome, and a part of you that is not really sure whether it wants to commit. I can't make that decision for you. I'm just saying these are the things and the themes that are likely showing up at the moment. And it's really up to you. You might go through this week and say, actually, you know what, Raf, you've given me some good food for thought. You have a really good think about it. And then you're like, actually, you know what, this is the opportunity of a fucking lifetime. I'm good. I'm going to stick in with this and I'm going for it. But at the moment, you're wavering. Your energy doesn't say that you are 100% in. This is why this justice card has come up. All right. Now, for those of you that are studying, I think I've explained. For those of you that are employed, if you are having problems, etc., with your job and it's wavering and you're like, oh my God, are they going to fire me or whatever? Again, this is something that you are in effect manifesting in some way, shape or form. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, if the money is tight, there's a part of this in there as well. With the justice card, if you're having trouble getting somebody to commit or to tie themselves to you and your business, if you haven't been able to close the sale, and stay with me here, if you haven't been able to close the sale, it's probably not because what you're offering isn't good. It's probably because you don't believe in it as much as you need to in order to get it over the line. All right. Now, I know the thing is, one of the things I have to say as well is I love Saggies because you can be really kind of, down the line with them. Saggies, Capricorns, Scorpios, they can handle it. Do you know what I mean? I hope you're not, just listening to this thinking like, oh, Raf just bashed us for 10 minutes. It's not that. Tarot can be a wonderful self-help tool as well as a predictive method. All right. Now, for those of you that are retired and no longer working, this may be a financial commitment that you've already made that you now realize is a bit of a lead weight around your neck. All right. Get clear on this so that you can get clear on, excuse me, whether you're keeping it or whether you're letting it go. So you've got the King of Wands for your love and relations. So for those of you that are single and looking, a Leo person could feature for you this week. You could be connecting with a fellow fire sign and sparks could absolutely fly. excellent stuff. It could be sexy, it could be sensual. It can also help you escape from some of the heavier stuff that's going on, right? For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, one way that this maybe shows up is that your partner says, right, enough. I'm taking hold of the reins from here. This is how we're going to move forward. This is how we're going to progress. And it's not because they're trying to dominate you. It's because they're trying to help you regain your focus. This might be one of those weeks where it's a good thing to kind of say to your partner, you know what? You've got this, you've clearly got this. Let me just take a moment to, get my shit together and get myself back in order, all right? If you would like to book yourself onto my tarot course, 12-week mentorship with yours truly, you're going to get 3 hours plus, sometimes give or take more or less, every week on a Sunday. On top of that, you're going to get 12 bonus PDFs, 5 bonus videos. You're going to get live client practice. We're going to talk astrology. We're going to talk numerology. I'm going to take you from foundation right the way through to intermediate. You're going to get spreads. You're going to get live client demos, live client practice as well to really sharpen and hone your skills. And I got to say, I'm so proud of him. One of my previous students literally had never done any tarot work before, came onto the course, and is now reading spreads, right? I'm super proud of that fact. And I mean, all props and kudos to him as well, to be fair, because he obviously did the work, right? Which is a part of it, I assure you. But I'm going to attempt to give you everything in this bulbous brain that I know about tarot and tarot reading and impart that to you. You also get the replays if you can't make the class, so keep that in mind. The price is $747. Payable in 3 installments, and you can get that on the link in the description box below. Remember, the first payment is a non-refundable deposit, so if you want to take the payment plan, there's that option as well. Enrollment opens on the 18th and it closes on the 30th. And then finally, for your money and materials, you've got the 5 of Cups. This is potentially a financial commitment that you already made that you realize has cost you more than you want to pay for it. It may be as well that you are going through a process, a course, a learning of some sort, some form of study, etc. And it's like, holy crap, I just feel awful, like, because these are cards of loss, right? And one way that this could show up, there could be a lot of talk about inheritance. It could be a lot of paperwork and documentation to sign around an inheritance. That's possible. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, the 5 of Cups is not great for health. And the reason I say this is because it's usually the result of some kind of heavy ignorance when it comes to your body. This is the 5 of Cups, and I touch wood, I hope I'm wrong here. This is not a diagnosis, I'm not a doctor, but the 5 of Cups will show up as things like liver cirrhosis. It will show up as things like diabetes. It will show up as alcoholism, overindulgence, or like usually the hard symptoms that show up when you've abused your body quite a lot. That's 5 of Cups stuff for health, right? So I will say with this, especially with the Justice card, you're at the knife edge, right? Whatever this health stuff is, it can be reversed, but you got to get your shit together, right? You got to get your head in the game here and now. If that's not your experience, the 5 of Cups with the Justice card, again, I'm not a doctor, I can't give you medical advice, but your kidneys, I would go to your doctor and ask them to do a screening of some sort. When it comes to your home and environment, the 5 of Cups is a card of loss, it's a card of mourning, and you've got this with the 5 of Pentacles. So for some of you, this could be the loss of a home, but for others, I actually feel like this might be the loss of a family member. I really hope I'm wrong on this front, but I am going to say, if you had a family member or a loved one's health really go downhill around October, this could be where you see, like, it gets a little bit more intense than you realize, right? So not the easiest of reading this week, I'm sorry guys, but you know me, you know how I am. I kind of give it to you straight. You've got a lot of big decisions to make, my dear Saggies, and you've got a lot of self-courage to rediscover. All right, and I say rediscover because Sagittarius is one of the bravest signs I know, and I mean that, I really do. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. I am wishing you luck and love for the week ahead. Take care, and I'll see you soon.